Hello, dear students. Let us start today chapter 5 Footprints Without Feet from Supplementary Reader. This lesson is very important as far as your final examination is concerned because you get questions from this lesson every year. This time it was a little bit, I would say, an exception, but you can expect a question from chapter number 5, that is in your session. Okay, so what we have in Footprints Without Feet, it is a very interesting lesson. You must have watched the movies like Mr. India, then Mr. Gayab. Okay, so there are certain films in Hollywood also. You will find certain films which are made on an invisible person. Okay, so this particular lesson is also upon an invisible scientist known as Griffin. Now, before beginning this lesson, I would like to give you a very short introduction about the author, whom you can see on your screens. H.G. Wells, or he is known as Herbert George Wells. H.G. Wells is just a short form, but the real name is Herbert George Wells. Now, Herbert George Wells, he was born on 21st September 1886 and 21st September 1866, and he died on 13th August 1946, that is almost at the age of 80 years. He was an English writer. He was prolific in many genres, like writing dozens of novels, short stories, then like works of social commentary, then satire, biography, autobiography, and even 2 books on recreational war games. He is best remembered for his science fiction novels. This you have to keep in mind, that H.G. is well known for science fictional novels, and he is often called the father of science fiction. Okay, now what we have in this particular that is a story by H.G. Wells. Now, just see the lesson here, the first one. An introduction is given to you. Can a man become invisible? This is the story of a scientist who discovers how to make himself invisible. Does he does he use or misuse his discovery? This question is very important, and often this question comes in the examination. Does he use or misuse his discovery? Okay, so this story is about a scientist named Griffin. What happens? He invents a rare chemical which can make man invisible, but at the same time the man can be touched and felt physically. So how he uses his new invention, let's see that. Now, let's see the first page of the story. I'm not going to read out this the page entirely for you. Just let me tell you what we have in the first page. That is, you will find 2 boys suddenly noticed a few muddy imprints of bare feet. They started wondering that what was a barefoot man doing on the steps of a house in the middle of London. The setting of this story is in London. They also started thinking that where was the man, as he was nowhere to be seen. He was totally invisible. Only the footmarks were visible, and those were the fresh footmarks. The man was still not visible. So these boys started following the footprints. They followed them until the footprints became invisible. They had been following a scientist who had discovered how to make the human body transparent or invisible. So it was Griffin the scientist who had been working for a long time to see how to make the human body invisible. Now, suddenly one day, what happened? He consumed certain drugs which made his body invisible, though it could be felt, that is, it could be physically touched upon and felt. So, Griffin was a lawless person, that is, he did not follow any rules and regulation. And he had once burned down the house of his landlord, who was trying to throw him out of the house. And then, as he wanted to be invisible, he had to remove his clothes, and he had to remove his clothes and then roam around without clothes and without money. That is, only the body would become invisible, but the clothes or whatever apparel that body would have worn, that would be visible. So, in order to make him totally invisible, he just took off all his clothes. His presence was felt after he stepped in some mud, and his footprints could be seen as he walked. Okay? Now, you can see at the end of this particular page that, brilliant scientist though he was, Griffin was rather a lawless person. His landlord disliked him and tried to eject him. In revenge, Griffin set fire to the house to get away without being seen. He had to remove his clothes. Thus it was that he became a homeless wanderer, without clothes, without money, and quite invisible, until he happened to step in some mud and left footprints as he walked. Okay? Now let's move on to the next page. Okay. So what we have here in the next page, let's see. Okay. So yeah, now what he did, he escaped easily the boys who had followed him. But he had many more adventures coming up. He had chosen a bad time to wander in London. And what was the bad time? That it was a time of winter. It was bitterly cold in London. So he decided to stay inside a store for warmth. So as he went inside the store, the closing time arrived. So the doors of the store were shut and nobody was there inside. So how did he manage to survive? He got food to eat and wore new clothes without paying for, because he was invisible, and he went inside the store. He wanted something to, just to cover himself up. So he ate food there in the store, and also he, wore the clothes without paying money. He became visible again as he wore shoes, overcoat, and a hat. He then found cold meat and coffee in the kitchen and ate them. After that, he also had sweets and wine from the grocery store. Then he slept on the pile of quilts kept nearby and could not wake up on time. So, next morning, interestingly, what happened? Next morning, when the assistants came and started approaching him, he became nervous and started running away. Now, then the assistants started chasing him as well. So he escaped only because he quickly removed his new clothes. Again, he was invisible and naked without any money in the chill air of January. So that was his first adventure, that he went to the London store, and how he passed his one night over there, having everything for free. Okay. Thereafter, what happens? Let's come to the next page. Okay. Now, this time he decided to try the clothing of the theatrical world. So his next adventure was, he went to a theater, as he knew that he would surely find something there to cover his face with, because he wore everything but his face was not visible. He quickly reached Drury Lane, the center of the theatrical world, as he was shivering with cold. He found a shop according to his needs and entered it. He came out wearing bandages around his forehead, false nose, side whiskers, that is this one, the side whiskers, and a hat. So at least it gave an impression that he was visible and he was a man. Then, as he did not have any money, he attacked a shopkeeper, which is very important to note. He attacked a shopkeeper and robbed him of all his money. Then he felt that London was too crowded and decided to go to a small village nearby in Iping. So he took a train and booked 2 rooms in the local inn. Local inn means it's a local hotel where you can stay. The event of a stranger coming and staying at the inn in the winter night was not a normal thing to happen in Iping. And everybody started talking about it also because Griffin looked very strange. The landlord of the inn where Griffin stayed, Mrs. Hall, she made efforts to be friendly with Griffin, but he did not want to talk. He had very high temperament, and he clearly told her that his reason for coming to Iping was for peace. That is, he wanted a peaceful environment and quietness, and he did not wish to be disturbed by anybody. Also, he told her that an accident had affected his face, due to which he had to cover it. Now, the landlord's wife, Mrs. Hall, accepted that her new guest was a strange scientist, and she was ready to excuse his temper and habits as he had paid her in advance, because he had already robbed the money, so he paid the money in advance to Mrs. Hall. Then the time came when his money was over and he had no ready cash available for further payment of his rent. So he had to pretend that he was waiting for a check which could arrive at any moment. Then something really strange happened. What is that strange thing that happened? The clergyman, there was a church nearby, so the clergyman and his wife were awakened by some noises in the study room. Now, when they were coming downstairs, they could hear the sound of money being taken from the clergyman's desk. This you can see here at the end of the page. Shortly afterwards, a curious episode occurred very clearly in the morning. A clergyman and his wife were awakened by noises in the study. Creeping downstairs, they heard the chink of money being taken from the clergyman's desk. Without making any noise and with a poker grasped firmly in the hand, the clergyman flung open the door, surrender. Okay, so as he thought he had caught a thief. But was the clergyman successful in his venture in catching the thief? That we have to see. Now, what happens next? Now, to his surprise, they couldn't see anyone. They looked under the desk, behind the curtains, and also up the chimney, but the person was nowhere to be seen. Yet the desk had been opened and the housekeeping money was gone. Then the clergyman kept on saying, "Extraordinary affair." This you can see over here, this one, extraordinary affair. The whole day, because he was shocked by the incident, but the things that happened with Mrs. Hall's furniture were much more fascinating. Now, that is, Griffin had come back to his place, that is in the local inn. So, what happened with the furniture that Mrs. Hall and her husband woke up very early and were surprised as the door to the guest room was open. Now, usually his room's door remained closed and locked. He used to get very angry if anyone tried entering his room. It was an opportunity, and Mrs. Hall did not want to miss it. So they decided to investigate when they saw that nobody was inside the room. Now, his bed sheets were cold, which showed that he must have been up for a while. That is, you can see this part, this part. This particular area entirely. That is, they peeped around the door, saw nobody, and decided to investigate. The bedclothes were cold, showing that the scientist must have been up for some time. And the stranger and the close bandages that he always wore were lying about the room. So everything was just lying about the room. Now, suddenly, Mrs. Hall heard a sniff. That is, somebody just sniffed very close to her ear, and Griffin's hat was lying on the bedpost, flung towards Mrs. Hall and hit her on her face. So, Griffin had already entered the room and he started attacking Mrs. Hall and Mr. Hall. Then the chair in the room dashed itself, hitting Mrs. Hall in her legs. As they got scared, Mrs. Hall and her husband were going out of the room when the chair closed the door, and suddenly a sound of slamming door, locking and locking were heard. This terrorized Mrs. Hall, and she was about to fall down from the stairs. She was convinced of the thought that there were spirits in her inn's room and that the stranger had caused this to happen. Okay, now she moaned that her mother used to sit in the chair which hit her legs, and thought that how could it rise up against her. So this is a kind of hilarious situation here. So the neighbors of Mrs. Hall thought that it was witchcraft which had caused such a thing to happen. Now, when the news of the burglary at the clergyman's house reached other people in the room, everyone started suspecting the strange scientist. Now, suspicion grew stronger on him when he produced ready cash for his payment at the inn, even though he had told some time back that he did not have money and was waiting for a check to arrive. Now, the village constable was called for, and Mrs. Hall did not want to wait for him. She went straight to Griffin as he had appeared from the empty bedroom at the inn. So she asked him what he had been doing upstairs to her chairs and furniture. So she also asked him how did he come out of the empty bedroom. She started questioning Griffin and how he entered and locked the bedroom. Okay. Now, suspicion was entirely upon Griffin. Now, let's see what happens to Griffin next. Now, the scientist became really very, very angry. So, this you can see here. The scientist was always quick tempered. Now, he became furious. Okay, this part. The scientist was always quick tempered. Now, he became furious. You don't understand who or what I am, he shouted. Very well, I'll show you. So he was very quick tempered. He removed his bandages around his face, then his whiskers, spectacles, and also his nose. It took him just a minute to do all this, and the people in the bar were horrified as they looked at the headless man. And Mr. Jaffers, the constable of the village, was surprised as he saw that he had to arrest a man without any head. But Jaffer still wanted to do his duty, as he knew that the magistrate wanted him to arrest the person, and it did not matter that he had a head or not. So, as he threw away more and more of his clothes, he became more and more invisible, and finally, after Griffin removed his shirt, he was nowhere to be seen, and Jaffers was struggling to arrest a man who had become completely invisible. Now, people around, they were helping Jaffers to catch Griffin, and they were also helping Jaffers, who was struggling with all the kinds of hits and blows from nowhere, because Griffin was constantly hitting Jaffers, but people could not help Jaffers because Griffin was basically invisible. So, as Jaffers made his last attempt to catch hold of the invisible man, he was knocked unconscious by the invisible man. So, everybody was shouting, "Hold him," repeatedly, but Griffin had set himself free from them and nobody could understand how to catch him because uh, he was totally invisible. This you can see at the end of the this lesson, this part. There were nervous, excited cries of hold him, but this particular part I'm reading out. There were nervous, excited cries of hold him, but this was easier um, said than done. That is, it was easy to say, but it was difficult to do. So Griffin had shaken himself free, but no one knew where to lay hands on him. So I just gave you the story in an elaborate manner. So as you have got this particular thing, now you can read the story and you will just get the hang of the storyline. Tomorrow I'll discuss with you the theme, the character sketch, and also the questions. I would tell you the questions which are very, very important from this lesson, and they often come in the examination. So I hope it's clear to you. So thank you and bye.